What if I told you that a simple 2003 P Mint Mark George Washington silver quarter could be worth up to $685,000? No, that's not a typo. That's the real value, and today, you'll learn how to identify if your coin is one of the rare ones that could make you an instant millionaire. Sudden pause with dramatic music change to heighten suspense. You're about to find out if you've been holding on to a hidden treasure, or just a shiny coin that's been gathering dust in your drawer. Now, I know what you're thinking, a 2003 coin, worth a small fortune? No way. But trust me, it's true. The 2003 P Mint Mark George Washington quarter has one of the most incredible stories in the world of numismatics. You see, every coin is like a fingerprint. Each has its own story, its own history. But not all stories are worth millions. However, if you happen to own one of these special quarters, well, buckle up. This coin isn't just a piece of change, it could be a game changer. Now, before you rush to your coin jar and start digging through piles of quarters, let me remind you, not every 2003 quarter is worth $1 million. I'm not here to tell you that every coin is a golden ticket. But let me also tell you, if you find one of these rarities, you might just be staring at your ticket to an entirely new lifestyle. Let's dive into the details. What makes this 2003 P Mint Mark George Washington quarter so valuable? First, it's important to understand the minting process. This quarter was made in 2003 at the Philadelphia Mint, which is why it bears the P Mint mark. However, the rare ones that are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars weren't just made by chance. These coins have specific traits that set them apart from the ordinary ones you might find in your spare change. The real value comes from the condition, the quality of the strike, and the level of rarity. If your coin has what's called an exceptional strike, meaning the features are crisp and sharp, with no noticeable wear, well, that's a huge win. And if you happen to have a coin with errors, such as a misaligned die or double dies, you might be looking at something that could skyrocket in value. A pristine version of this coin could easily fetch $685,000 at auction. Now, don't panic just yet. If you've got one of these quarters, I'm going to show you exactly how to tell whether it's a potential goldmine, or just a collector's item worth a bit of nostalgia. Here's the exciting part. You might be wondering, how do I know if I've got one of these rare, high-value coins? It's all about identifying the signs, and trust me, it's easier than you think. Start by checking the mint mark on the back of the coin. Look closely, this is your first clue. The P Mint mark should be crisp and clear. Any fading or damage here might decrease the value. Next, check for any minting errors. Misaligned dies, double strikes, or unusual patterns, these are the things collectors salivate over. I know you want to become a coin detective now, but trust me, it's worth it. Take your time, this coin could be hiding in plain sight, and you don't want to miss out. Once you've inspected your coin and you're confident it's the real deal, the next step is to sell it. And this is where things get interesting, because getting top dollar for this rare coin isn't as easy as walking into just any coin shop. You need to connect with the right buyers, the right auction houses, the right networks. You've got to get it in front of the big players. Online auctions, reputable coin dealers, and numismatic events where collectors and investors gather, this is where the magic happens. But what if I told you there's more to this story? There are secret markets out there, where collectors are willing to pay even more for this coin than the $685,000 you're hearing about right now. And guess what? I'm about to reveal where and how you can sell this coin for the highest value possible, but first, I need you to keep watching, because the best part is coming. So, now you've learned how to identify if your 2003 P Mint Mark George Washington silver quarter is worth a small fortune. But here's the thing, time is critical. The market for rare coins is always shifting, and you want to sell at the peak of demand. The longer you wait, the more you risk losing that golden opportunity. Act fast. Imagine waking up tomorrow with a bank account that's been completely transformed. This coin could be your ticket to a new life, so don't wait, start looking at your quarters today. And who knows? You might just find yourself sitting on a small fortune. Hit that like button if you learned something new today, and don't forget to subscribe for more insider tips on how to turn your spare change into serious wealth. Got a coin you think could be worth millions? Drop a comment below, and let's talk about it. What if I told you that the key to your next six-figure payday is already sitting in your drawer, that one dusty, forgotten quarter? Yes, a regular 1986 George Washington quarter could be worth up to $685,000. And no, this isn't clickbait, this coin exists. It's real. And it's changing lives. So before you go tossing your change in a vending machine or your coin jar, stop, because in the next 10 minutes, you'll learn why one tiny detail on this coin is turning everyday Americans into millionaires, and trust me, you'll want to check your pockets by the end of this. The year was 1986. America was booming. The Cold War was chilling. And in the bustling city of Philadelphia, something unusual slipped through the U.S. Mint, a coin, not just any coin, a $quarter, featuring George Washington, like millions of others, but this one was different. You see, most 1986 quarters were made from a common copper-nickel blend. But an extremely limited number, so rare that even seasoned collectors missed it, were mistakenly struck in 90% silver. In 1986, exactly. By then, silver coins were long out of production. But this minting mishap created a hidden treasure that would stay buried for decades, until someone finally noticed. One of these rare 1986 silver quarters, minted in Philly, with a P mark, surfaced at auction.it wasn't just another collector's piece. It was in near flawless condition, officially graded, authenticated, and it sold for a jaw-dropping $685,000. Yes. $685,000 for a 25-cent coin, and it could have been in your change jar all along. Let that sink in. Someone just traded a glorified laundry token for more than the average U.S. home price. Imagine paying off your mortgage with a single quarter. This tells you it was minted in Philadelphia. It must say 1986. Silver quarters have a brighter shine, and they're slightly heavier. Check for a solid silver edge. No copper core visible? That's a good sign, but here's the twist. Not every 1986 P quarter is valuable, only a specific type meets the jackpot criteria, and most people overlook it. I'll reveal the one error that separates a 25-cent coin from a $685,000 payday. Now that you know what to look for, here's how you turn that discovery into dollars. Inspect your coins. Don't rely on memory. Physically go through your 1986 quarters. Use gloves and a magnifying glass to avoid damage and see details clearly. Weigh it. Use a digital scale. A normal quarter weighs about 5.67 grams. A silver error coin will be heavier, closer to 6.25 grams. Get it graded. If you spot a potential winner, send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. A professional grade turns suspicion into certainty. Step 4. Auction it. Once authenticated, you can list it at top auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers, where collectors are hungry to outbid each other. Don't try to sell it at your local pawn shop. That's like selling a Ferrari for scrap metal. This isn't just about coins. It's about freedom, financial freedom. The freedom to travel, retire early, or finally start that business you've been dreaming of. And to think, it could all start from your junk drawer. The next rare coin is out there. It could be yours, but time is ticking, and opportunities like this don't wait. White heavy checkmark. Check your quarters, especially 1986 P. Mint marks. White heavy checkmark. Look for solid silver and extra weight. White heavy checkmark. Get it graded. White heavy checkmark and claim what could be the most profitable 10 minutes of your life, because someone out there is holding a $685,000 coin, and they don't even know it. What if I told you that a single quarter, yes, a 25-cent coin, could be worth more than a Lamborghini, or even a beachfront condo, and here you were, using it to buy gum back in '93. But today, that same coin is making headlines. One was recently valued at $685,000, and some experts believe it could fetch over $1 million at auction. This isn't just a story about a coin. This is about opportunity hiding in plain sight, and if you're someone sitting on old change, inherited collections, or that mysterious jar of coins under the bed, you might be holding the key to a fortune. And how can you turn it into cash, fast? Stick with me, because in the next few minutes, you'll discover the shocking reason this 1988 D quarter is worth six figures, how to identify one in your own stash, and how to sell it without getting ripped off. And no, you don't need to be Indiana Jones of numismatics, you just need to know what to look for, and move fast. Let's break it down. The 1988 D George Washington silver quarter dollar isn't just rare, it's accidentally rare. Here's what happened. In 1988, the Denver Mint, known for the little D mark, was cranking out billions of coins, but a handful were struck on silver planchets, left over from a special mint run. They weren't meant for public circulation, yet somehow, they escaped into circulation. Into pockets. Into coin jars, maybe even into your home. But there's a catch, these valuable coins look almost identical to the regular ones. So, how do you tell them apart? Regular quarters weigh about 5.67 grams. Silver versions? 6.25 grams. Silver coins have a brighter tone and produce a high-pitched ring when dropped. Most modern quarters show a copper-colored edge. Silver quarters? Pure, solid silver edge, mint mark and year. Look for D, mint mark and the year, 1988. If all signs match, you might just be holding a $685,000 treasure. Still think your coin jar's just collecting dust? It might be collecting compound wealth, and here's the kicker, prices are rising. A coin like this sold for $24,000 just a few years ago, now it's worth over $500,000. Because as more collectors jump in, supply is vanishing. Don't clean it. Seriously, cleaning can destroy thousands in value. Let the professionals assess it as is, weigh and inspect it, use a magnifying glass or take it to a local coin shop to confirm the details. Get it authenticated. Services like PCGS or NGC will grade and certify it, critical for selling at top value. Some collectors are actively searching for this coin right now, and they're willing to pay millions for the right piece. You might be sitting on more than a coin. You might be sitting on a new life. Imagine paying off your mortgage, helping your kids or grandkids through college. Or finally living that soft life you've dreamed of, without working another year, all because of a forgotten piece of metal in a drawer. Just don't go flipping through your coins in public, you'll start looking like a very polite raccoon. Now you know what to look for, now you understand the value. So the only question left is, don't wait. Every day more of these are being found, certified, and sold by people who didn't even know what they had. Check your coins. Secure your future. Comment below if you think you've got a winner. Subscribe for weekly insights on rare coins and building quiet wealth, because sometimes, the path to wealth doesn't start with a big idea, sometimes, it starts with a little coin. What makes this coin so special, you ask? Well, it's not just any regular quarter. This particular coin was struck with unique conditions in 2001 at the Denver Mint. And in recent years, its value has skyrocketed from face value to nearly $500,000. But here's the kicker, if you've ever tossed coins in a jar or hidden them in a drawer, you may have one of these in your collection. And it could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Are you sitting on a fortune, or did you miss out? The market for rare coins is moving fast. Every second counts. And it's essential to know exactly what makes this coin so valuable. What makes this coin worth so much? In 2001, the U.S. Mint produced millions of George Washington quarters, but there was something unique about the 2001 D Mint mark variety. Unlike other coins, some of these quarters were struck with a special, rare error or variation that makes them much more valuable than their counterparts. You might be asking, why does this particular coin stand out? Well, let's break it down. The rarity of the 2001 D Mint mark George Washington quarter is the first factor. With only a limited number of these coins released in circulation, the odds of finding one are incredibly low. But that's not all. The second factor is the condition. A coin in mint condition can be worth exponentially more than one that's been worn down from years of use. How do you know if your coin is worth a fortune? Well, you'll want to check if it's still shiny and pristine, no scratches, no dents, no "I was thrown in the washing machine" look. A coin in this condition can fetch up to $685,000 at auction. And, of course, if you've kept it in a safe place, away from the hands of curious kids or laundry machines, well, you might have struck gold, and here's where it gets really interesting. If you happen to have a quarter from 2001 with a particular error, it could be worth even more than $685,000. But how do you know if your coin has that error? Stick around, because the moment of truth is coming soon, but here's the thing, time is ticking. The market for rare quarters is on the rise. You're not the only one searching for this coin. Collectors, investors, and auction houses are on the hunt, and prices could continue to climb. If you wait too long, the opportunity might slip right through your fingers. So, what do you need to do? First, check your coin collection. Look for any quarters from 2001 with the D mint mark. Next, examine them closely, look for signs of rarity and condition. Remember, a coin in mint condition could be worth up to $685,000. Now, don't just sit there and hope it's worth something. Take action. If you've got a rare one, get it appraised. Seek professional help from a trusted numismatist, or take it to a reputable coin dealer who knows what they're doing, and hey, don't just hand it over to the first person who offers you $5 and a Snickers bar. Trust me, it's worth way more than that. Imagine what you could do with $685,000. Pay off debts, live your dream lifestyle, travel the world, or even retire early. The possibilities are endless. But it all starts with you finding this coin and taking action now. But wait, there's a secret that the top coin collectors don't want you to know. A hidden trick that can drastically increase your coin's value. Want to learn what it is? Stay tuned for the next video, where I'll reveal the one simple step you can take to maximize the worth of your 2001 D mint mark quarter. You won't want to miss it, so, if you want to cash in on this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because we've got more secrets and tips coming your way. Don't wait, your fortune could be just a coin flip away. Well, what if I told you that a certain coin from 1987 could be worth a staggering $685,000? And could be the key to changing your financial future? Yes, you heard me right. $685,000, all thanks to one little coin. But here's the catch. If you're not careful, you could be sitting on a fortune right now and not even know it. Are you ready to discover how a single coin could change your life? Or will you let it slip through your fingers? Let's find out. Let's start at the beginning. The 1987 P mint mark George Washington silver quarter dollar is not just any coin. No. This little piece of US history is something you need to pay attention to, because this one could be sitting in your pocket, in a drawer, or even in your purse right now. But here's where the real story begins. In 1987, millions of these quarters were minted. The problem? Most people don't realize their true value. You're probably thinking, why would a 1987 coin be worth anything more than 25 cents? And I get it, but what if I told you this coin is actually made of a special silver composition, and just a few of them are worth far more than their face value? This is where the excitement starts to build. If you find one of these quarters in pristine condition, you could have a highly sought-after collector's item. The key here is that these quarters were not made with the exact same specifications as other quarters from the same era. And that small difference could be worth big money. But hold on, don't go rushing off to check your coin collection just yet. Here's where the game gets tricky. Are you ready for the next part? Alright, now let's break it down. Most 1987 quarters aren't worth a thing. You've probably seen one in your change and thought nothing of it, right? That's where most people get it wrong. The value doesn't come from just having a quarter from 1987, it comes from finding the rare ones. So, what makes the difference between a regular coin and a coin that could be worth up to $685,000? It's all about the condition and rarity. The condition is key. Coins in perfect, uncirculated condition are what the buyers are after. Here's where things get even more interesting. In 1987, a small batch of these quarters was minted with slight imperfections that would later become the holy grail of coin collectors. These coins are more rare than you can imagine. And when you find one in great shape, the demand can push its value to crazy levels. Do you want to be the person who finds this coin, or the person who misses out? Let's imagine this for a second. You're sitting at home, rummaging through an old jar of coins, and boom, you pull out that shiny silver quarter. It looks different. It's got that glow, that freshness to it. You check the mint mark, and there it is, the elusive 1987p mint mark. Your heart starts to race. Now, you're wondering, is this the one? But wait, before you get too excited, let's talk about the urgent reality of these coins in today's market. Now, this is where it gets even more urgent. If you want to cash in on the 1987p George Washington quarter, you cannot wait. The market for rare coins is extremely volatile. The window of opportunity could close at any moment. This is not the time to sit back and think, I'll look into it later. No, you need to act right now, but don't take my word for it. Just look at the current market. There are auctions, collectors, and dealers eagerly searching for this very coin, and they're paying top dollar. If you find one in pristine condition, the value could skyrocket to $685,000. It might sound unbelievable, but it's happening. People are finding coins like these in their collections and walking away with life-changing money. But here's the kicker, there are only a limited number of these quarters that are in excellent condition. The longer you wait, the more likely someone else will snatch up that fortune before you even get the chance. But how do you know if your coin is worth that much? That's what we'll cover next, and you'll want to stick around for this, because it could make you the next person to cash in on one of the most incredible finds of the year. So, are you ready to find out how to evaluate your own coins and take advantage of this rare opportunity? Stick with me, because the secret is about to be revealed. Now, the clock is ticking, and the market is waiting. You can let this opportunity slip through your fingers, or you can take action today. Don't let fear or doubt hold you back from claiming what's rightfully yours. Check your coins, get them appraised, and see if you're sitting on a fortune that could transform your life. But the truth is, time is of the essence. The longer you wait, the higher the chance someone else will get their hands on that rare coin, and you'll be left wondering, what if? For the rest of your life, head over to your coin jar, grab that quarter, and make sure it's not the one that got away. This could be the most important decision you make this year. I'll be right here, cheering you on from the sidelines, watching as you turn a simple coin into a life-changing treasure. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more incredible finds like this. Who knows? Your next video might just be the one where you cash in on your own $1 million coin. Don't miss out, time's ticking. Hold on, don't go running to your change jar just yet. You probably won't find one of these in your everyday transactions, but stick with me. First, let's understand why this specific coin is worth a fortune. The 1993p George Washington silver quarter is special for several reasons. It was minted in Philadelphia, during a time of limited production. And here's the kicker, the coin was actually misstruck, and this very mistake is what makes it so valuable. The camera zooms out to reveal stacks of coins and a magnifying glass highlighting the mint mark and unique features of the 1993p quarter. You see, when most people think of valuable coins, they think of rare dates, historical significance, or unique markings. But in the case of this 1993p George Washington silver quarter, it's the minting errors that make it stand out. If you look closely at certain versions of the coin, you'll see discrepancies that give it a distinct, higher value. Pause for effect. Dramatic shift to a different angle with bold text on screen, error coins, what you need to know. Now, you might be asking yourself, what exactly do these errors look like? How can I tell if my coin is worth a fortune? Here's where the excitement kicks in. The mint errors, such as doubling or improper strikes, are not visible at first glance. But when a professional coin grader inspects them under high magnification, that's when the magic happens. And here's the most shocking part, this coin is so rare, only a handful of them exist. Quick flashes of coins being graded by professionals. Now, I know what you're thinking. Is my coin one of these rare finds? And that's the $1 million question. But hold that thought, because we're just getting started. Show someone online, looking at a coin auction website where a 1993 P. George Washington silver quarter is being sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Let's talk about the market. Right now, there's a hungry demand for rare, mint-era coins, and the George Washington silver quarter is no exception. In fact, it's one of the hottest collector's items in the market today. A screen showing auction results, with one 1993 P quarter being sold for $685,000. That's right, you heard me correctly, $685,000. So, what does this mean for you? If you've got one of these quarters in your collection, you could potentially be sitting on a small fortune. But don't just take my word for it. The market is hot right now, and these coins are being sold for mind-boggling prices. Cut to a quick, humorous shot of someone frantically searching through their change jar. You're not alone. I mean, who wouldn't want to get their hands on one of these? If only it was as easy as picking it up from the store, right? But don't worry, we're about to uncover the real treasure. Here's the thing, you don't want to miss this. As the demand for rare coins grows, so does the price. If you have a 1993 P. George Washington silver quarter, now is the time to act. The window of opportunity might not last forever. Show a person finding the coin and preparing to sell it, looking at their computer screen, the camera zooms in dramatically on the coin, then cuts to an inspiring shot of someone celebrating a big win. Imagine what it would feel like to suddenly find that you have a coin worth hundreds of thousands, or even millions, of dollars. You could finally pay off your debt, retire early, or even start that business you've always dreamed of. That dream can become a reality if you know where to look. Cliffhanger pause as the screen goes dark for a split second. But how do you know if your coin is the real deal? And how can you cash in on it before the market shifts? Well, I'm going to give you everything you need to know in just a moment. Show professional coin grading and auction websites, along with a step-by-step process of selling a rare coin. Now that you know what makes the 1993 P. George Washington silver quarter so valuable, let me walk you through how you can get it graded and sold for top dollar. The first step is to have your coin professionally inspected by a reputable coin grader. Once it's authenticated, you can list it at auction or through a trusted coin dealer. With the market as hot as it is, you'll have no trouble finding buyers willing to pay top dollar. Show a professional coin dealer and an auction house working to sell a rare coin. And if you're serious about selling, don't waste time. The longer you wait, the more the market may change. This is your chance to seize an incredible opportunity. Fade to a serene, uplifting scene showing someone counting their newfound wealth, with a dream home in the background. Who knows? This 1993 P. George Washington silver quarter could be the key to unlocking your financial freedom. Don't let this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity slip through your fingers. Check your coin collection, get your coins graded, and take action before the market shifts. You could be the next big coin seller, and start living the life you've always dreamed of. Good luck. End with dramatic music and fade to black. Imagine holding in your hand a single coin, a small piece of metal, that could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, hold on to that thought, because what you're about to discover could change your life forever. This coin right here? It's not just any quarter, it's a 1997 P. Mint Mark George Washington silver quarter, and it's been hiding a secret worth up to $685,000. Yes, that's not a typo. In today's video, we're diving into the incredible value of this coin, why it's so valuable, and how you could unlock a fortune. Stick around, because you won't want to miss the shocking twist at the end. Alright, folks. Let's rewind for a second. You've probably got a bunch of quarters rattling around in your pocket right now, right? Maybe they're stuck in your drawer or buried at the bottom of your change jar. I know what you're thinking, they're just quarters. Worth a quarter, right? Wrong. In 1997, the U.S. Mint released a special George Washington silver quarter as part of the 50-state quarters program. At first glance, this coin may look just like any other. It features the legendary face of George Washington, America's first president, along with the P mint mark indicating it was struck in Philadelphia. But don't let its seemingly mundane appearance fool you. There's something special about this coin, something that many collectors and investors are eager to get their hands on, and it could be sitting right in your pocket right now. You see, what makes this coin so valuable isn't just its age or its silver content, oh no. It's the incredibly rare misprints and minting errors that make certain 1997 P quarters worth thousands, and in some cases, millions, of dollars. Can you imagine that? A simple coin that you could find in your loose change, turning into a fortune. But the question is, how do you know if you have one of these golden tickets? Don't worry, I promise we're not going to have you searching through every single quarter you've got, well, maybe just a few. Stay with me. It gets better. The mystery behind the mint Marqueso, why is this coin so valuable? It all comes down to a little thing called mintage error. In 1997, some of these quarters were accidentally minted with flaws, whether it's a double die, an off-center strike, or a missing design. These errors are incredibly rare and highly sought after by collectors. A single coin with the right error could easily fetch up to $685,000 at auction. Can you even fathom that kind of money? Now, I know what you're thinking, how could something so small and insignificant be worth that much? Well, folks, in the world of coin collecting, rarity equals value. And trust me, collectors are willing to pay top dollar for these mistakes, because that's exactly what they are, mistakes that time and chance turned into something priceless. Take a look at some of the most valuable 1997 P quarters. A quarter with a double die, where the details of Washington's face or the lettering are duplicated, can make that coin worth upwards of $50,000. And then, there are the rarest of the rare, off-center strikes or coins with incomplete designs that can fetch prices well into the hundreds of thousands, sometimes even close to $1 million. The urgency and the call to action, but here's the thing, my friends, you need to act fast. The coin market is volatile, and as more collectors get wind of this hidden treasure, the value of these quarters is skyrocketing. The clock is ticking, and if you don't act quickly, you could miss out on the opportunity of a lifetime. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, how can I find out if my quarter is worth millions? Well, it all comes down to a few simple steps that I'll be revealing in just a second. But first, I've got to warn you about something. There's a chance that your coin could be worth a fortune, but if you don't know what to look for, you might never even realize it. That's right. These coins are out there, but they're hidden in plain sight. The worst part? You could be holding onto one right now and never even know it. And here's the kicker, there are a few key signs to look for, and if you don't know them, well, let's just say it's like throwing away your ticket to the lottery. Stay tuned, because after the break, I'll reveal the exact steps you need to take to figure out if your 1997 P mint mark George Washington silver quarter could be worth hundreds of thousands, or even millions. Alright, now that we've got your attention, let's talk about what you need to do to determine if your quarter is worth a small fortune. Grab your coin, because these are the next steps you'll want to take to start turning your pocket change into a wealth-building investment. And trust me, if you're ready to take that first step toward financial freedom, it all starts right now. So, if you want to stay on top of the latest coin discoveries, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss the next big revelation. You might be one click away from uncovering a fortune, and we'll be here every step of the way to guide you through it.